This video, we're going to review the bTres settings. So from any of these screens at the bottom bar, we can click this bTres icon. I'm going to enter my PIN because I've set this up to require a PIN, which you're going to see how to do in the settings. And I'm going to come over to the settings page right here. From the top down, so this is where you're going to choose your car model. It will automatically put in the weight of the car plus 180 pounds. So this includes the 180 pounds given for the driver. You can, of course, adjust this however you like. The tire size, you're going to want to put in your tire sizes. So this is all important for a few things, but mainly for the virtual dynos to be accurate, because it takes into all kinds of things that are model specific, like front end coefficiency, the tire size, all kinds of stuff. So it's important for the virtual dyno to be accurate. Dyno smoothing is on by default. You're probably going to want that. Anytime you've ever done a real dyno or see a real dyno, there's dyno smoothing involved. That keeps it from having like these crazy little miniature spikes all over the place, which are inherent with dynographs. So bTres employs some dyno smoothing as well. And then auto display dyno. This is also on by default. So this, with this on, if under the right conditions, the virtual dynograph will automatically show to you when you're driving. If you've done if you're in third gear or fourth gear, and you have to do this all within a singular gear, one of those two, and you start from underneath 3,000 RPMs, so less than 3,000 RPMs, I typically start around 2,500, and then you want to do it all the way up past 6,000 RPMs. So you can go to red line, you can go till it switches gears, that's fine. But what I'll do is put my car in manual. I'll put it in the third. I'll probably go a little faster than 3,000 RPMs in third gear, and then I'll basically let off the gas, let it kind of cruise down to around 2,500, and then I go full throttle, but I don't hit the kickdown switch. That's the key. If you hit the kickdown switch, it'll change it into second gear, and this won't work. So without hitting the kickdown switch, you want to go full throttle and then stay there in third up until it either switches gears or at least is 6,000 RPM. Then you can let off. And with this, its default setting of on, you'll see the virtual dyno automatically show, and then you can close it. Even if it doesn't automatically show because you have this off, you can view it later in the logs. All right, so splash screen. This is where you can customize the splash screen, the screen that the video or image that shows when the bTres first comes on. As part of your bTres, you will have a few default ones to choose from, but you can also upload additional ones. There's quite a few that I and other people have created that are in the bTres Facebook group file section. I will probably start posting them on the Better Than .shop website as well, at least the ones that don't have Audi logos, but those are the kind of the coolest ones. And yeah, so I'll show you how to upload them, and then they become available in here, whether it's an image or a video, and then you can choose it. Starting screen. So by default, it's gonna start on the first gauge screen, but you can change it to start on any one of those gauge screens, as well as any custom gauges that you have created. Your time zone. So by default, it'll probably be on UTC, but you can change this, in my case, to Los Angeles Pacific Standard Time. If you're on the East Coast, you can change it to that. If you're in anywhere around the world, you can change it to your time zone, so it'll correctly, of course, timestamp your logs and everything with your local time. Then we have remove bottom bar. I touched on this in another video. The bar underneath the gauges, by default this is off. If you turn it on, the bottom bar, the information is still there. It's rearranged a little bit, and the bar is kind of just non-existent. It's not like a gray bar anymore. It's more just translucent, but like I said, the information is still there. So it's a styling difference. Same thing with darken gauges. This essentially darkens the graphic behind the dynamic portions of each gauge, so that the dynamic portions and the numbers and everything are more contrasty, so it's easier to see. I prefer the darkened gauges and the remove bottom bar personally. This is where you can switch map. You can swap map to boost. So PSI versus map. Launch boost target. So if you set this, let's say you set this to 4,000, your bTres will flash when you hit, if you're doing a launch control or something, it'll actually flash right when you hit 4,000 RPM. Okay, and then switch Celsius to Fahrenheit. So this is currently on, so this is showing everything in Fahrenheit. You can switch this off, show it in Celsius. And then we have our map names. So by default, the map names are what DS1 has. So it's going to be 91, 90, 93, 100, and so forth. But you can rename them. You can give them custom names. So if you want map 0 to be, for instance, low boost, and then medium boost, and then high boost, and so forth, you can do that. Here's the lockout pin. You've seen it in pretty much all the videos up till now, well, including this video. You can set a lock-in pin so that if a kid or a spouse or a valet or somebody is in the front seats of your car while they're driving, or even the passenger, you don't want them to accidentally do anything that can mess up your car. For instance, change maps, or go to the DS1 page and change tunes, or come here and change settings. You can simply put in a lockout pin code, and then it will require you to enter that in order to do any of those actions. All right, alternate connection mode. By default, the method of connecting to the bTres to the DS1 with this off is that you actually connect the DS1 to the bTres Wi-Fi. So you'll connect to the DS1 on your phone or your laptop, and you'll go to the internet tab on the DS1 and search for Wi-Fi devices. bTres will show up, and then you will click. You'll choose that network, and you'll put in the password, which is better than, all lowercase, all one word, better than, BETTERTHAN, and then it'll connect. And then you'll see in here DS1 will say connected, and now you're done. bTres is connected to the DS1. For some reason, every once in a while we get a DS1 that doesn't like that method. I don't think it happens so much anymore. I don't know if it was a certain run of the DS1s. Maybe it was a certain run of the bTreses. I really don't know. But all I know is that sometimes people needed to do the alternate connection method. So you turn this on, and essentially it flips it. So instead of connecting the DS1 to the bTres Wi-Fi, now you're connecting the bTres to the DS1 Wi-Fi. So if I were to flip this and hit save, this will restart. And then when I go to DS1 connection, now it'll show me the DS1 network, Wi-Fi network that it found, and then let me put in the password and connect that way. But I still recommend the standard method, so this off, because it actually allows you to auto sync logs, and that's this next toggle switch. So with alternate connection mode off, meaning again the DS1 connects to the bTres Wi-Fi, that means the bTres can be connected and logging, with the DS1 at the same time that the bTres can connect to your home Wi-Fi. So for instance, my S8, I have it connected via the regular connection mode. And when I pull back into my garage, my bTres will automatically see and connect to my home Wi-Fi, and will automatically start syncing logs from my drive up to my cloud's log storage. That's, by the way, free, provided by bTres, no limits. So I don't have to think about like downloading logs or syncing logs or anything like that. I can literally just go to the website and put in my device ID, this guy here on the left, which I've just saved the URL, so I don't even have to enter it anymore. And I can see all my logs, and it categorizes it by day, by general or dyno or poll logs and so forth. I can even give that link to my tuner, and they can easily see the logs. We're going to do a whole video on that here also. Okay, so other than that, we have our save settings button. So any of these changes you make, you have to save it. Reset network is a newer option I put in. Sometimes people had just problems connecting to their home network or mobile. I'm not sure this solves their problem, but essentially this kind of is like your phone has, it resets all your network settings on the bTres. And then we have delete logs. So this will delete all the logs that are stored on the bTres itself. It will not delete the logs that you have synced up to the cloud though. That's unlimited storage for you. You don't have to worry about deleting the logs there. So speaking about that, let's go to the log section. So you can disregard this negative 238 second length. This is because this is a demo and the way I did the poll just kind of gets a little funky. But you'll see we have a type poll and a type dyno. Generally speaking, you'll have a lot of general types as well. General is while it's auto logging, and again, the bTres does auto logging all the time when in gear, right? Unless if you're not in gear, if you're in neutral or park, you can still tell it to log. You just use the logging app that I showed in my previous video. But regardless, so it's always doing general logs. So every 3 minutes, the bTres will save down a general log file. It'll be listed here. And it'll be roughly 3 minutes long. Whenever you do a poll, and as I defined in an earlier video, poll is 80% pedal or more. It will, while it's still going to have the same information in your general log, it's going to also create a poll log file. Poll log will be start at the point where you hit 80%, up and through a few seconds after you're no longer at 80% or more pedal. So that's helpful, right? And then a dyno. A dyno is, again, I've already talked about how you enact the virtual dyno. Well, if you do enact it, then we'll also save a dyno log file. Okay, and then you can sync all of these to the cloud manually by hitting this sync button if you don't have the auto sync on. You can download them to a USB if you have that plugged in to the box, USB storage device, or you can manually sync individual log files also up to the cloud. And then you can view these logs. So I'm going to click the view on this dyno. And this is not working in this demo. That's a bummer, but this would show you the dyno that I showed you in the previous screen or in the previous video. It'll just show you the actual dyno graph and everything. So you can come back here and you can be like, oh, I want to see this dyno. Okay, let's see yesterday's dyno. Let's see the week before's dyno and so forth. And if you clicked on any other type of log, unfortunately, I don't think this will work. Yeah, so this will end up showing you full-on data for this log file. And you can see fueling data, knock data, ignition data, boost, air temp, injector, torque. And if you've ever viewed anything on DS2 logging, and I'll even show the web logging that I have in the cloud logger, the cloud sync log system, it's all pretty much the same. It's very detailed. You can see at any given point and so forth. Bummer, this isn't loading up in this demo, but hopefully you'll get the point. And again, I'll probably make another video to showcase that. Besides that, we have our update software. So as long as you're connected to internet, we can come here and check for update, and it's gonna either tell you there's an update or not. So this is telling me you're running the latest bTres software. So updates are free. They're free as long as it's free for life. I have had, anybody can attest, I've done updates pretty much monthly or more often, really, since the beginning of bTres for the last 3 or 4 years. So I'm constantly adding new features, dialing in things, and so forth. That's it for this bTres. Oh, you can restart it here. You can see your version. This is, again, because this is my demo, so it says testing, but this would show the current version, software version it's running on. And then here's your device ID that's used on the website for viewing your cloud sync log files.